Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Toddy Walnuts update video. And over the course of the past month, I added some Blu-rays to my Scream Factory collection. I have a couple of miscellaneous collectibles that I've been looking for. I have a little stack here of Arrow video box sets and a movie. I picked up quite a few VHS over this past month, and we'll go through those titles. I have a couple of vinyl records to show. I have a CD, so we kind of hit everything, a little bit of everything in this video. I also have 3 authentic movie posters that I'm going to show at the very end. And we're trying to get comfortable here at the Walnuts compound. I'm joined by the ladies, as always, Miss Hannah and Miss Heidi. Saturday night chill. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Get yourself relaxed and let's check out what I picked up over the past month. The first thing that we'll show today is the original motion picture soundtrack on CD of Friday the 13th, the original from 1980. And I've been picking these up recently. So this one does have kind of a little booklet that comes with it. Obviously the CD, which I really love that original poster art. And there's a little bit of imagery there on the back. Young Jason drowning, or actually that's after he had been drowned and comes back as a freakish monster. So I was glad to pick this up. I got it pretty cheap. I'm gonna change out the jewel case. This one has a crack, which not that big of a deal. And I also had these previously, so I'll just kind of show these together. This is the final chapter and a new beginning, so that's part 4 and 5. That's part 1, and this is part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. So those are the 3 CDs that I have so far for the collection, and I'm going to keep grabbing those if I find them for a good price. Next, we will get into the Scream Factory stuff, and I've been trying to knock out the list of holes that I have in the collection, and I keep finding some here and there. I'm trying to get these for a good price. I don't plan on getting every single release from Scream Factory, but there are still quite a few that I'm missing that I'd like to grab. And this is one. It's called How to Make a Monster. I think that cover looks really great. And we're having a hard time getting comfortable here again, but she does that sometimes. It's a little bit distracting, but I want her to be comfortable. So let's see here. This movie came out in 1958. It is 73 minutes running time. I love these old monster movies. They're great. It says, go behind the scenes of moviedom's most popular teen monster movies and you'll discover a tale of monstrous vengeance. Following the success of 2 1957 classics, I Was a Teenage Werewolf and I Was a Teenage Frankenstein, How to Make a Monster takes you backstage where a frustrated artist spawns his own twisted scheme for murder. When the movie studio moguls decide they'd rather make musicals instead of horror films, the veteran horror makeup artist loses his job. He decides to get revenge. So that was one that I needed. I was glad to grab that one. I also picked up Urban Legend on Blu-ray. This is the collector's edition with the slipcover. Even though I have the 88 films Blu-ray box set, I still wanted to get this for the Scream Factory collection. This is a pretty decent modern horror slasher. I think it's pretty good. I enjoy the movie. I don't know though that I'll open this one and watch it because I do have it on Blu-ray already, and 88 Films had a really nice release. But I watched this recently probably 3 or 4 months ago, and it had been several years prior to that I saw it, and I thought it held up. It was pretty good. So that's Urban Legend. I also picked up Slither. This was used, gently used. This is the collector's edition with the slipcover. I flipped the cover on the inside so that you get both of the covers. So this, let's see here. This is a movie from 2006, and it was put out on Blu-ray by Scream Factory in 2017. And you can see the special features there. This is a James Gunn movie. This was back when James Gunn was not nearly as popular as he is now, and back around this time I was friends with him on Facebook, and he was very approachable. He would talk to his fans, but he soon blew up, and his Facebook page became a fan page. I think once you get like 5,000 subscribers, or whatever you call it, 5,000 followers on Facebook, it becomes a fan page instead of a single account. I think that's how it works. I'm not sure. But yeah, he kind of ghosted everybody. I don't blame him. I mean, we didn't really know him personally. We were just fans of his work. This is a pretty good little movie, though. I thought it was a pretty fun little monster movie, creature feature. I would like to see James Gunn do another horror movie. I know he did he collaborated with Zack Snyder when they did the Dawn of the Dead remake, which I thought was really good. And I wouldn't mind seeing him do a little bit more, but he's very, very successful with his superhero movies, and it's doubtful that he'll ever go back to his old roots, but you never know. So that is Slither. All right, the next one here is called Daughters of Satan. This is still new, sealed. I don't think I've ever seen this movie, at least not that I can remember. It's a movie from 1972. It is rated R, and it's 90 minutes running time. That's young Tom Selleck. It says Tom Selleck stars in a bewitching occult thriller. A lot of leg there. I like those leggy women. I like to go swimming with bow-legged women and swim between their legs. Next one is called The Wasp Woman. Another one of those black and white monster movies. These are pretty ridiculous, but pretty fun at the same time. And the special effects are kind of primitive to today's standards, but they're still fun to watch. It's a movie from 1959, and it is 63 minutes running time. And a lot of those old black and white creature feature monster movies were very short. 63 minutes, that's just barely over an hour. But I think that's perfect. That's a perfect length for a movie like this. The Wasp Woman. Next one is called Sonny Boy. This one I did see, but it has been many years. I'll be glad to revisit this one. It stars the Wanderer, the Grasshopper, David Carradine, who I thought was a great actor. And I'm only kind of riffing on the Kung Fu series. I thought that series was amazing. I own it on DVD, and I rewatched the whole thing a couple of years ago, and that is some excellent viewing, excellent hours of entertainment. And I would even put Little House on the Prairie up there in the same category as Kung Fu, because it's kind of that country stuff. It's pretty good. This one came out in 1989. I think the only time I ever saw this, I think I rented it on VHS years and years ago. It says it's a shattering, unforgettable performance from David Carradine, who killed Bill. powers this wickedly offbeat tale of family love gone berserk. Paul L. Smith and Brad Dourif are also featured in this powerfully moving supporting roles. In a remote desert town, a psychopathic petty crook and his transvestite girlfriend, Carradine. What? I don't remember that. Am I sure I watched this? I do not remember that. I must be thinking of a different movie. Let me reread that to you guys so that can sink in a little bit. In a remote desert town, a psychopathic petty cook, played by Smith, and his transvestite girlfriend, played by David Carradine, kidnap an orphaned infant, cage it like an animal, and train it to steal and kill on their command. Now, this is not ringing a bell to me. I think I'm thinking of a different movie with a similar premise of a boy who's caged. I think it's Humongous, right? I think I'm thinking of Humongous. But wow, that sounds crazy. David Carradine playing a transvestite. Here's the disc art. I might pop this in tonight just because it sounds crazy. Here's the transvestite. How many beers would it take for you? Not enough beer in the world. Okay, we're just going to keep moving on before I say something ridiculous. The Return of Count Yorga. The Death Master is back from beyond the grave. These are good. These are fun movies. Count Yorga movies. I have a couple of these, I think, already from Arrow Video. Excuse me. I have Count Yorga and The Return of Count Yorga, I believe, on Blu-ray from Arrow Video, but I wanted to get this one for the Scream Factory collection. And this is a movie from 1971, 97 minutes running time. These are pretty fun movies. They kind of have that Universal or Hammer type feel to them. And the last one from the Scream Factory for this update video is called Frankenstein, the True Story. And I believe this was a made-for-television movie starring the very gorgeous Jane Seymour. And James Mason, who was a fine British actor, is in this movie as well. He's one of my favorite actors. James Mason was amazing. The movie came out in 1973. And it says here on the special features bar that there's a new 2K scan of the original for the 2-part television movie event. And there's also new interviews, which is cool. You get a new interview with Jane Seymour. I bet you it's pretty entertaining, interesting. And you also get new audio commentary with historian filmmaker Sam Irvin. I've got to admit that I'm not familiar with Sam Irvin, but I would definitely love to hear the commentary and get more familiar with his work. So I was glad to pick this up. And there's the reverse cover. This is kind of one of those classy type of monster movies. So that was it for the Scream Factory. We'll keep moving on. The next piece here is one that's been on my radar for years now, and these are the Anchor Bay tins that were put out on a DVD format probably 15 years ago or so, give or take. And they are limited releases, and they come in a tin, and I'm going to go through and show you guys what's inside the tin. But some of these have gone way out of my range for price. And usually this one here, Halloween 4, which is not even, it's a decent movie. It's not by any stretch of the imagination a great movie, but it's fun, it's entertaining. If you get these, sometimes they're like 60, 70, 80 bucks. I've seen them over $100 on secondary markets because these are out of print and sold out. Yeah, that's what happens every night. I don't know if you guys can just hear that siren in the background, but I live 1 mile from the hospital here in town, and not only that, but I live in kind of a ghetto, and there's every night, every day, every night, there's nothing but cops and ambulances going back and forth past my house. So I finally picked up Halloween 4. I still need Halloween 5, and I don't have Halloween 5 for the same reason I just told you about this one. It's very pricey. I ended up finding this one for about 20 bucks. It's used, and it has some very light, kind of superficial scratches. They really show up good, like now when I'm putting light on it. But if it's on a shelf, you can barely see it, or even from a little distance. I'm usually pretty picky about stuff like this, but I don't feel like paying $100 for this tin, so I thought 20 was okay for the condition it's in. So we'll take the top off, and on the inside you just get a little tiny, it's not even a booklet, I call it a leaflet. It's only like 2 pages, and it just talks a little bit about the movie and the franchise. I'm not going to read it to you guys. And then on the back, it has the chapter stops for the movie. And then the movie itself comes in what they call a jewel case, CD case, whatever you want to call it. And that's basically everything that is to this. It's just, I mean, the biggest thing, the majority of this edition is the tin itself, I guess, because nothing else really stands out. But this is the disc, and we'll take a better look at the side here. You can see the title and the Anchor Bay logo, and then on the back it shows you what it was limited to, and out of 40,000 pieces I got 8,719. So I'm going to pause it here, put this back together, and I'm going to quickly show you the other editions I have from the Anchor Bay tins. Now there's a couple that I'm not going to get, but I'm only going to get the horror ones. So yeah, let me pause it here, and I'll show you the other editions I have. Okay, so I came out to the living room just for a second. It's pretty dark in here, but when I had the lights on, I was getting a lot of glare, a lot of reflection. So I think it'll be a little bit better for you guys to see it this way. So there's the one I just showed you. That's the Halloween 4 tin. And then the next one is Evil Dead 2, and that one is still sealed. I have Hellraiser, which comes with Hellraiser 1 and 2. That one is also still sealed. And I have Maniac, William Lustig's Maniac, starring Joe Spinell. That one is also still sealed. And I also have an extra Maniac. This one is open, perfect condition. I think that tin is really cool, and that one has gone really high in price. Next one is Fulci's The Beyond. That one is still sealed. And then I have Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, and that one is still sealed. And I have The Wicker Man. I really like that wooden box. It's a pretty good movie too. I have never seen the remake yet, but I really enjoy the original, and that is the original right there. I think it's from like 1973 or something like that. So those are all the editions I have so far for the Anchor Bay tins, and I still need to get Halloween 5, and I think that will be the last one that I'll get. The next title here is Ted Bundy. This is a movie that was put out by Vinegar Syndrome. I do have a couple more releases from Vinegar Syndrome in the mail coming. They're not going to make it for this video, obviously, but I will save those up for the next video. It's a pretty nice edition here. Comes in a slip case. I consider a slip case when it has one opening, and a slip cover is when it has two openings, one at the top and bottom. That's the terminology I use. And this was limited. I don't think you're going to be able to see that because the flash is washing that out. But it's limited to 5,000, and I got number 1,926. I bought this gently used, and I got a pretty good price for it. I got it cheaper than, or much cheaper than I would have got it at Vinegar Syndrome. It's a movie from 2002, 99 minutes running time. It's all region for my friends overseas. And I have not seen this particular movie about Bundy. There's a couple movies that were made about Ted Bundy, but I have not seen this one yet, but I do plan to. And there you can see the reversible cover. And it comes with, I believe, a poster. If it came down to the choice between a booklet and a poster, I would take the booklet every time. But it looks like this one only comes with a poster. I mean, it's nice when it's both, but if I had to choose one or the other, I would go with the booklet all day long. Especially the posters that we get in Blu-ray releases, they're never really, they're always kind of a weird size, like they're small, like you can't fit them in a, the Scream Factory, the way that they do their posters, I think it's perfect because it's 18 by 24. And they're, you know, they really look nice when they're in frames on the wall. And actually, I don't know, this might be pretty close to 18 by 24. I'm not sure, I haven't measured it yet, but I mean, it's high quality. The paper's nice and thick. It has like a shiny varnish on it. So basically, it's the same images that are on the slip cover, slip box. So that is Ted Bundy from 2002. The next one here is another DVD that's been on my wish list for years now. I don't know if I've ever told you guys how I do my hunting. So what I do is when I go to like secondary markets or Amazon or any site like that, I make myself a wish list. And I try to whittle it down, but I try to wait for the right opportunity. Some of the ones that, like eBay, I don't think there's a wish list there, but you can favorite things. For a long time, this DVD, it's out of print. It's kind of rare, and it's been kind of hovering in the $45, $50, $55 range, and I don't want to pay that much for a DVD, even one that's kind of rare, like this one is. So I ended up picking this one up for a $22 used in really good condition. And this is Return to Sleepaway Camp. This was part 4 in the franchise that came quite a bit after the first 3. And this is the original cult classic magnet. I don't think this ever had a Blu-ray release, at least not in the States that I'm aware of. So that's why this DVD is very pricey. I don't know if eventually one of these companies are going to release this on Blu-ray, like Vinegar or Scream Factory. Would be nice. Yep, just, I mean, not much to it, just a DVD that's out of print that might be boring to you, but little things like this make me happy. And I was glad to get Return to Sleepaway Camp on DVD. The next little stack here is going to be my Arrow video stuff that I picked up over the past month. And the first one here is called Two Witches. I love witch movies. I think they're really fun. I have a feeling, though, that this one may be a case of the cover is better than the movie, but I'm willing to give it a shot because that cover is amazing. If the movie is even close to that cover, it's going to be a fun watch. And there's the reversible cover. So let's read a little bit about it on the back. I still haven't watched this movie yet. It looks like it came out in, let me see here. It looks like it's fairly new. It's a new release. Well, it looks like the movie itself came out in 2021 and Arrow released it on Blu-ray in 2022. So it's very, very new. And it's a Euro horror. I'm not sure which country this is from. Let's do a little reading here. It says, with its super saturated color palette, I love that. It's just kind of like a Dario Argento movie. He always has really colorful scenery and backgrounds in his movie. Tenebrous art design and electrifying soundtrack. Two Witches presents two truly terrifying conjoined tales of witchery, paranoia, and terror that hark back to the gory thrills and scares of classic Euro horrors, such as Suspiria, Shock, that's a Mario Bava film, and The Beyond. Expectant young mother Sarah is convinced she has been given the evil eye from a mysterious blank-eyed old hag while she is dining with her bullish and insensitive partner Simon. Later, when the couple go to visit the new agery, friends Dustin and Melissa, dark forces are unleashed after an ill-advised attempt at consulting a Ouija board. And I'll just leave it at that because it sounds pretty good. I was hoping that it would say what country this was from, and it said, I was thinking it was a Euro horror, but it says it harkens to the days of the Euro horror. But I don't know anything about this. If anybody knows and you want to comment below, is this a US horror or what? Not that it matters, I just like to hear that kind of stuff. And there's the disc, which really looks great. I think that's amazing. That art is really, really good. And it does come with a, is it a book and a poster, or it's just a really thick book? Let's see. Oh, so you get, okay, you get a booklet, an art card for another release, which we'll look at in a minute, and it does come with a poster. So yeah, let's pull a poster out. I'm going to pause it really quick. We'll pull a poster out and check it out because it looks like it's a little different than that. Okay, so we have this image. That's really nice. That is great art. And then flip it over and it has the same image that's on the box. We also have the booklet that I mentioned, and we have the art card for advertising another one of the Arrow video releases, and this is Wild Things. I think that stars, is that Matt Damon, right? I think I believe that's an 80s movie. And then we'll kind of thumb through this. Again, that art is really, really good. I love purples and blacks together, and then they threw in that kind of chartreuse, that kind of fluorescent green, and that looks amazing. Really, really good. Beautiful witches. Let's see if we recognize any names here. Try to get that light off of there. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, there we go. Rebecca Kennedy. Nothing's really jumping out to me, but it could be a case of I'll know them if I recognize them. I've seen them in something else, maybe. Be interested to hear if any of you have seen this. What you felt about it. You know, did you like it? What would you give it out of 1 to 10? 10 being best movie you've ever seen. And that will maybe help me decide to watch this sooner, because I do want to put it in I have such a huge pile of movies that I have to watch yet. And I guess that's kind of a good problem to have if you're a collector. You have too many movies to watch. But if you guys recommend this, and if you love the movie, maybe I'll move it up my list a little quicker. So that is Two Witches, I believe, from 2021. Next up, we have the Daimajin trilogy from Arrow Video. Some good Japanese samurai goodness here. Haven't opened it up yet, but we will. And in this box set, you get Wrath of the Daimajin, Return of the Daimajin, and Daimajin. So I think I must have went backwards. It must have been the other way around. Haven't ever seen any of these. This is another one that was on my wish list, and it's getting a little pricey. I ended up picking it up on hamiltonbook.com, and I think it was like $10 or $15 cheaper than anywhere else, so I just went ahead and snatched it up. If you're interested in this, maybe check out Hamilton Book first to see if they still have it, because I bought this about a month ago and they might be out by now, but it doesn't hurt to look. Let's see, so you get, okay, they actually have an English dub track, so you can watch it in Japanese language or English language, and you can also watch it with English subtitles. So the movies came out in 1966, it looks like. This box set was put out by Arrow Video in 2022, and the running time for the 3 movies are 84 minutes, 79 minutes, and 87 minutes. And I don't know. Okay, I was going to say, I don't know if they have special edition contents, but they do. They're just not very much, but it's just nice to have these movies in one box set together. And Arrow Video usually does a great job, not only with packaging, but with their transfers and everything. So they give you good quality. So I'm going to peel this, and we'll see if I can do it one-handed. Otherwise, I'll have to pause it. But well, it looks like it's going pretty good here. All right. A little ASMR for you guys. And maybe it bothers some of you too, so I'll stop it. But the first thing I noticed is the box itself is very low quality, very cheap. It even has kind of a bend in it. Very, very kind of flimsy, chintzy. I mean, the box looks cool, but it's just not very high quality paper. Let's see, we'll try to go in order here, I think. At least I think this is the order. This is called Daimajin. It has that kind of a Japanese comic book style art, which looks really good. Okay, so it does have special features here. You can, if you want to pause that and read it, I don't want to go through everything, just because I have a lot more stuff to show. And it does have a reverse cover. I'm assuming that's the original Japanese poster art advertising the film. And then I'm assuming this is part 2, called Return of Daimajin. And this one also does have some pretty good bonus features. The Japanese loved their large villains like that, like Godzilla and Gamera and all these Daimajin. But I'm glad to finally have this set. I felt very comfortable with the price that was set at Hamilton Books. I thought it was high time to go ahead and just pull the trigger and pick that up. So we'll do a quick recap and we'll keep rolling here. The next set here is another giant Japanese monster, and this is the Gamera box set, and this is the Heisei era. And this box is beautiful. It's very high quality. We'll go through the movies here in a second. I want to give the box a good once over. It has a nice matte finish so you don't get that glare. It looks really beautiful. Really nice. It's a Super Duty heavy outer shell, and you get 4 discs. They each come in their own case. We'll go through those. So these movies, you get Gamera, the Guardian of the Universe, right there. You get Gamera 2, Attack of Legion. And you get Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris, and Gamera the Brave. And these are the more modern era Gamera movies from like the 90s into the 2000s. So this probably has better special effects and stuff like that. More budget, more money to work with. The box set is beautiful. And we'll go through the movies really quick. I think these are backwards, but that doesn't really matter. So we have Gamera the Brave. Wow, that looks really great. And you get a lot of special features. And it looks like these are also in Japanese or English language with English subtitles if you want to use those. I love it when you buy stuff from other collectors and they know enough to put a little bit of bubble wrap inside, so when these get jostled around during transit from the mailman, your disc won't pop out and get all scratched, even though it's pretty hard to scratch Blu-ray. But you don't want your disc popped out, you know, getting all messed up. So thank you to whoever, I don't even know who I bought this from. It was just a random seller on a secondary market. But there is the, I'm guessing, original Japanese cover. So we'll put that disc back in there and just keep moving here. So yeah, this one's saying Gamera 3, so I am going backwards, but what difference does that make, right? I just dumped them on the bed and we're going from there. But there is the bonus features. Again with the bubble wrap, thank you. Gotta love fellow collectors who take care of their stuff. When I used to sell quite a bit on eBay, I don't anymore at all. I got burned way too many times. eBay is a joke. But I always shipped my stuff to people as if I was shipping it to myself. And that's just a good way to do it. Look at that, man. That's beautiful. Gamera 2, Attack of Legion. Speaking of which, I still have a couple things I have to mail out that I've been sitting on for months, and I apologize. There was a guy named Ronan who won the Texas Chainsaw Blu-ray. I still have to get that out, man. I don't even know if you still watch my videos, but that was a long time ago. And I still have a package for Chili Billy, and I still have to send something out to Gerard, my buddy Gerard in Ireland. He won the TCM Steelbook. And I really apologize about that, guys. And I'm putting together a package for Let Us Play right now. So if I can get my channel to 10,000 views, which I'm about 500 and something away from that now, I'm going to have a huge giveaway. I'm going to have enough prizes for like 5 people to win. And I want to give back to the community and to all the people who watch the videos and support my channel by giving thumbs up and comments. I appreciate you guys out there, and I want to give back. So if you want to see me hit 10K, you can share the video, or just keep watching, doing what you're doing, and hopefully people will tune in and want to sub. And when I get to 10K, then I'll definitely give you guys like a little update video of what I'll be giving away and when I will be giving it away. That's cool. I love that right there. So you'll rarely hear me say to hit the like button or to subscribe. But if you guys could help me get to 10K, I would really be appreciative of that, and I'll give back to the community. So this is a little recap here of the 4 movies in the Gamera box set. And it looks really beautiful. I just wanted to show you guys what they look like on the shelf together. Now this is the one on the left I had already. I showed this in a previous update video months ago. And this is the more recent one in my collection, but I just wanted to show you when you put the two boxes together, it makes the full Gamera. It looks really good. And then we'll kind of just put them on the side so you can see what they would look like if you have them on your shelves. And I'm sure many of you already have these. And then the backs. I just wanted to kind of show them side by side. I think that's looks pretty cool that they form the monster. The next one here I did an unboxing for a few videos back, so if you're interested in seeing a complete unboxing and to hear my thoughts about this, just check back like 2 or 3 videos ago and you'll be able to find that video. So I just want to kind of do a once over. Since this is a new pickup for this month, I wanted to add it in with this stuff. So this is the Arrow Video 4 Classic Westerns Volume 2 Blood Money set. And the movies that come in this set are $10,000 Blood Money, Vengeance is Mine, Find a Place to Die, and Metallo, Kill Him. It's a really good set and one I recommend. So just wanted to throw that in with this update video and show you that. And now we're going to get into some VHS. This next pile here is, these are movies from childhood favorites. These are animated movies that I really enjoyed as a kid. I still do as an adult, and I have these on DVD and some on Blu-ray now. And this top one, I showed in a previous video, but I wanted to include it with this just because there's other movies in this franchise, and I wanted to show all these covers together in one video. This is the Lord of the Rings, the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings on VHS, and I love that cover. It's beautiful. So, but I did show that before. Now this next pile I haven't shown before on the channel. I just recently got these. This is one of the Hobbit releases. This is the original The Hobbit movie. It's been released several different times, and I have a few of them here in this pile. This one was released on VHS in 1991. I love that cover. So it kind of goes nice with this one with that yellow on the background. And I have the Sony edition on VHS. I think this was the original VHS release. Let me see if I can find out when this was released. Well, it says, if you read that, I believe that Roman numerals, that says 77, but I think that's when the movie came out. I could be wrong about that. But I don't know if they were releasing VHS in 77. But I like that cover. I thought it was pretty good. I have a couple of the Return of the King covers, and I think these look really great. These were all very affordable. They were all under $10 a piece. And I know some people think $10 for a VHS is pretty crazy, but if you're a collector and you like this kind of stuff, if you're paying like $7, $8, $9 for a VHS, it's not that big of a deal. And yes, I still do have a VHS player that plays, that works. And the last one, this is also the Return of the King, just a different cover. I think these look great, so I was happy to pick these up. And I bought this for dirt cheap. This was almost kind of just thrown in when I bought some of those. The seller asked me if I was interested in the Return of the King, Peter Jackson's Return of the King, and I said, not really. I said, I'm not really interested in that. And she said, well, it's still sealed and I'll give it to you for $5. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll take it. Why not? So it was like a little throw-in. And these are great movies. In my opinion, these Lord of the Rings movies and the Hobbit movies that Peter Jackson made are the best movies ever made. hours and hours of entertainment. They're amazing. The movies are very long, but they're excellent. They're very fun. So I'll do a quick little recap here. Let me pause it. We'll do a quick recap and keep moving. All right. Good stuff. I also picked up a couple of horror movies. Let me pull that to the side here, go one by one. A couple of horror movies to add to the VHS collection, and this first one is called Q, the Winged Serpent. This is a Larry Cohen movie that was filmed in downtown New York City, and David Carradine is also in this movie as well. I really enjoy this movie. I think it's great, and it's been a while since I've seen it, but I've seen this movie about 4 or 5 times in my life, but it's been at least a few years since I've seen it, so I'll probably pop it in on Blu-ray here at some point and revisit it. It's a movie from 1982. You can see also Shaft himself is in it, Richard Roundtree, and this one is still sealed, and it's in great condition. I was glad to pick that up. Again, I got this for under $10. And then I picked up Galaxy of Terror, which is a fun movie. I always love that cover there. It's really good. And this thing's in perfect condition. You can see that Aaron Moran, who played Joni Cunningham in Happy Days, is in the movie. And this is a Roger Corman production. Pretty fun little sci-fi B movie. These were the 2 horror VHS that I picked up. I also picked up quite a few westerns, and most notably Clint Eastwood movies. Not all, but most. So we'll go through these really quick. And this first one here was also kind of a throw-in with this set, just because I didn't really like the quality of this box set, but it was almost free, so they threw it in for me. And of course, this is maybe his best known movie. I don't think it's his best movie, but it's his best known movie. That's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I still think that The Outlaw Josie Wales is better than this, but a lot of people seem to like this one. I think that's because a lot of people haven't seen all of his movies, and they just hear other people say, or they recognize the name, so they say that's their favorite. But I think if people really kind of had the deep dive into his movies, and if they watch The Outlaw Josie Wales, it's a much better movie, in my opinion. The writing is excellent in that movie. Not that this is bad by any means. I mean, this is a great movie too. But it's definitely overhyped just because of the name. And it's not really in the great. The box is a little bit tattered and beat up. I would like to get a better upgrade of that. But I'll just kind of flip through these really quick. So Every Which Way But Loose. I put them in these plastic cases just to kind of preserve them. These were all in really good shape other than that first one. This is the Deadpool Dirty Harry movie. These are in no particular order either, just pulling from a pile here. Heartbreak Ridge. Clint Eastwood is my favorite actor. Between him and Johnny Depp, but I think Clint is probably my favorite kind of a classic actor, like old school actor, and Johnny Depp is kind of like my new school type actor. This one's called Joe Kidd. This is kind of a lesser known Western that Clint did. Not too many people talk about it. It's a good movie. And this is the puffy hair Clint Eastwood years. He must have had a really good contract with a shampoo conditioner company, because around this time, which was I think around in the mid to later 80s, 86 maybe. He really had that puffy hair going on, like he was really using like a jojoba conditioner or something. This is called Firefox. And I'm just joking. I'm kind of riffing on Clint here, but Clint is great. He's a really good actor. Here's another great movie, Dirty Harry. These movies are so fun. They need to come out with a 4K box set of the whole entire series. That definitely deserves one. So does Death Wish, the Charles Bronson movies. Here's Unforgiven, another great movie. Directed by Eastwood. This won a whole bunch of awards, including Best Director. And there was I have the soundtrack on vinyl for this, and there was a song on that soundtrack that was composed by Clint Eastwood. Here's Hang 'em High. Another great movie. And here's another Dirty Harry movie, Magnum Force. This one's a little rough too, but it's still in good shape. This might be my favorite Western of all time, and just narrowly edging out The Outlaw Josey Wales, and that's Tombstone. The writing, the acting, the characters, everything, even the bad guys in this movie are excellent. It's really, really good. I'm sure most of you have seen this, but if you've never seen Tombstone or The Outlaw Josey Wales, do yourself a favor. Put some time aside tomorrow on Sunday or whenever you have time. Usually I do it on Sundays because I try to get everything done and just have a lazy Sunday. And then I'll pop movies on or watch YouTube all day. But do yourself a favor. Watch The Outlaw Josey Wales and Tombstone, and they're excellent movies. And we have Where Eagles Dare. This one's a little bit beat up too, but that's fine. A Fistful of Dollars. This is part of the Dollars trilogy. So you get a fistful of dollars for a few dollars more in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Excellent Italian movies. Here it is right here, The Outlaw Josey Wales. Possibly one of the best poster covers too, right there. I have that poster hanging in my house. I'll show you that at the end maybe, if it's not too dusty. And another Dirty Harry movie, Sudden Impact. Love these movies. Love Clint Eastwood's movies. I think everything that he does is great. He's a great actor, great director, great American, tough guy. He's in his 90s now. It's going to be a huge loss when we lose him. I don't even want to think about that. I'll pause it here, put some of this stuff away, and then I'll show you some of my posters. Okay, so I don't know how well this is going to show up, but this is in my living room, my movie room. That is the original poster for The Outlaw Josey Wales, 27 by 40. And this is also in my living room, movie room. This is the original Dirty Harry poster. I have to show you kind of from an angle because there's a glare if I come out here and show you. And then I have the first of the Dollars trilogy. This is the Italian title, Fistful of Dollars. And this is also an Italian poster. This is part 2 in the Dollars trilogy for a few dollars more. Let's see if I can get across here without give you guys a better viewing of that. And And the last one is an Italian poster for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's a great poster. Wow. Let me see if I can get it better. It's kind of hard to get an angle when you have the flash, but I hope you guys can see that. Alright, I'm going to go back into my bedroom. I'm going to show you guys a couple of vinyl records and 3 posters, and then we will conclude the video. Oh, the first vinyl record is Charles Manson Live at San Quentin. This is an Australian release. And this is an hour of songs and improvisation recorded in his jail cell in 1983. Manson was a madman, and his music wasn't very good, but I think that these are pretty collectible. This is something that was this was released in 2022 from a company in Australia called Survival Research. And you can see the track listings. Some of his music was okay, but the majority of it was just kind of eh. If you want to read that about, you know, I find I've seen probably every documentary there is about Charles Manson. I've seen every interview. I find him pretty fascinating, and 90% of the time that guy talked, it sounded like his brain was mashed potatoes, you know, but like 10% of the time he almost sounded like a genius, and I think that's what was very interesting about him, and I think that's why I would always go back to keep watching more documentaries and more interviews with him. But I mean, he was a complete scumbag. There's no doubt about that. He was a turd. It's a shame that he was able to live in prison for as long as he did for what he did to, you know, the Folgers and Sharon Tate and all that. It's awful. But just wanted to show that it's collectible. I picked it up. The next one is the official soundtrack on vinyl of Cannibal Ferox, and this was put out by Grindhouse Releasing. Thank you very much for getting back into the game. It's good to see them again. It feels like seeing an old friend again. And they also do have another Blu-ray release coming out, so go over to their website and check it out. It's a movie with William Shatner, and I can't think of the name of it right now offhand. It escaped me. But it's limited to 2,000 with a slipcover, and it's kind of a suspense thriller type movie. And old Bill Shatner's in there. But yeah, so I'll be grabbing that one as well at some point before it sells out. But this one here is the soundtrack. I believe it was the Blood Red, or so there was 3 different colors you can choose from, and they were all limited to 200 pieces. So the red one, it was called Blood Red, I believe. I think they still have Blood Red left, but you might want to check it out quick because there's only 200 of each color, and 2 of them sold out already. So they have the Blood Red. They also had a green. I believe the green sold out. And they had a white. The white sold out. And then they had some test editions that they sold. And I think those were like limited to 50 and 25, and those sold out right away. And I think it was just like the plain sleeve and the plain record that went out to get tested or something, or I'm not sure how they do that. But yeah, but those are gone. So if you're interested in this, you might want to hurry up and go check it out now. It may be too late, but this is Cannibal Ferox, Make Them Die Slowly. It's a great cover from a very sleazy and nasty movie from the 70s. The cannibal movie, obviously. So I'm going to go put these away. I have a couple posters to show you guys, and that's going to do it for me. So the first poster here is the original one sheet of A Nightmare on Elm Street. And this is signed up Let me see if I can get close enough to show this. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Maybe let me see if I turn the lights out once, if it looks a little bit better. I don't know, maybe a little bit. So this is signed up by quite a few people. In the upper left-hand corner here, that was signed by Charles Fleischer, who played the doctor in this movie. He had quite a nice career in Hollywood. He also voiced Roger Rabbit in the Who Framed Roger Rabbit movies, among other roles too. But he was on there. Next we have Robert Englund. Obviously he played Freddy Krueger. And we have Johnny Depp, who played Glenn, who was Nancy's boyfriend in the movie. We have Wes Craven, who directed the movie. And we have Amanda Weiss, who played Tina in the movie. And we have John Saxon. Let's see if we can see that. He was Nancy's father in the movie. So rest in peace to John Saxon and Wes Craven. Wes Craven passed away a few years ago, and so did John Saxon. So this is a pretty nice little Grail piece now in my collection. I picked this up about 2 weeks ago. Let's see here. Maybe this will look better with the lights on. This is the Texas Chainsaw 3D original poster, authentic poster. This is it's printed on both sides. So on the front here you get the regular print, and on the back it's a reverse print. And the reason they do that for these movie posters is so it gives it a richer, thick color when these are in lit up like shadow boxes to promote the movie. It doesn't kind of wash out with the light. So this was the Texas Chainsaw 3D. And you can see here at the bottom it says, "Evil Wears Many Faces, January 2013. This was a very cheap poster. Inexpensive, I should say. Not cheap quality. The paper was really good quality, but I got this for $20, which I thought was a great deal for an authentic poster that was hanging in theaters. You can see different skin masks. The movie itself wasn't that great, but this poster is pretty nice. And the next one here is another authentic movie poster of Forbidden World from 1982. I always thought that was a great poster. Wanted to get it. So that actually hung in a movie theater at some point. And it was in somebody's hands, and they told me that they had this thing folded in an envelope for years. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to rescue that thing, put it behind some glass, and treat it like it needs to be treated. I really love that image. It's amazing. So that's going to do it for me, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please consider subscribing and hitting the thumbs up, sharing the video. I would like to get to 10,000 and give some things back to the community. It's going to be some pretty cool stuff too. So you're going to want to subscribe, because it's only going to be 4 subscribers to enter the contest. That's the whole purpose behind it, so I can give back to the community for supporting me and watching my videos and stuff. It means a lot to me. So for Miss Hannah and Miss Heidi, I'm your boy, Toddy Walnuts. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you around.